All right, I'm gonna run you guys through a quick rehab workout. This is gonna be great for anybody that's going through pretty severe back pain. I went through 8 years of back pain, and this is something I wish I had. For those that have very severe back pain though, their back can't tolerate much flexion, you're gonna wanna start off with just walking on the treadmill. I recommend all of you do this, 10 to 15 minute walk. For those that can't perform these exercises yet, just do the walk for now, increase the amount of time that you're able to walk day to day. And once your back kind of settles down, has less spasms, isn't giving out as much, then you can progress into these exercises. So again, start off with a 10 to 15 minute walk, then you can start these exercises. I'm gonna run you guys through 4 different exercises you can do. The first one is gonna be front planks. So when you do these planks, ideally, you're gonna wanna be here, right? But there's a couple different modified versions because some people may not be able to tolerate being in this position. You can do a modified version where you're here, or you can even be posted up on your hands, or you can be full pull-up position. This is still gonna work your core like crazy, but for this video's purposes, I'm going to start from my forearms. For this workout in particular, we're just gonna aim for 2 sets of 30 seconds. I'm gonna start the timer here. We're gonna go for 30 seconds, starting now. For some of you, you may only be able to do 5, 10, 15 seconds. So start where you are for now. But for this video, I'm gonna go for the full 30 seconds for those that are a little bit more advanced. And this is something you wanna work up to. So just keep following along with this video, keep coming back to it each day, and try to work up to doing 30 seconds with me. Right now we're at 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then you can rest anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. So while you're doing these planks, ideally you wanna almost be kind of sucking your belly button up towards your spine. Just get the core a little bit more activated, get more of those deep core muscles working. That way you're being a little bit more active with this workout versus just a passive plank. Just gonna get a lot more benefit from doing this. So again, just rest. Rest as long as you need to. You don't have to stick to the 30 seconds to a minute. If you gotta rest a little bit longer, that's completely fine. But usually you'll just wanna rest about 30 seconds to a minute, whatever you feel you need personally. Because everyone's gotta move at their own pace, progress at their own pace. So we're gonna start these back up. Again, gonna aim for 30 seconds, starting the timer now. Don't forget, you're pulling that belly button up and just adjust to the version of the plank that you can tolerate. Like I said, you can be from your knees, posted just on the forearms, push-up position or modified push-up position. But if you're gonna be in this modified push-up position, make sure you lean forward to where your arms are below your shoulders, okay? Because if you're lean back like this, you're probably not really working your core. So you'll be working your core when you're a little bit more lean forward up here, okay? That is 30 seconds. So we're only doing 2 sets of those. It might not feel like much, but I always tell people in the beginning stages of rehab or through your entire rehab journey, less is going to be more, because when you have an injured tissue, you're way more likely to have a flare-up, and you want to avoid any flare-ups when possible. That way, we're just focusing on taking steps forward versus taking any steps back. So the next exercise is gonna be glute bridges. We're gonna keep these on the lower end again. I'm gonna aim for 2 sets of 8 here. You're gonna wanna have your feet slightly outside of shoulder width apart, but manipulate your feet, find a good position to where when you bridge, you feel it in your glutes. Because everyone's gonna find a different position. They feel the glutes a little bit more. Some might feel a little bit closer, but usually you want a slightly wider stance, toes pointed slightly out, and then bridge up. And each rep, we're gonna hold for 3 seconds. Some of you may only be able to tolerate a couple reps, but today we're gonna aim for the goal of 8, and we're not gonna do too much too soon. The long-term goal is 2 sets of 15 with a 3-second contraction at the top of each rep. So every rep, you're gonna hold, squeeze those glutes for 3 seconds, and then you come back down controlled. Before you guys do these, one last tip that I always tell people. Some people say that glute bridges hurt their back. The only reason it would ever hurt is if you arch so high that your back starts arching, right? You don't want that back to flex. You wanna just arch up high enough to where your glutes are flexing. You wanna keep a neutral alignment here. Your shoulders should be almost in alignment with your knees. You should be straight here. As soon as this back starts coming up and arching, that's when you start getting that torque on that lower back, and we don't want that. We just wanna be up and up to where our hips flex up, okay? So we're gonna start these. Again, if you only can do 2, 3 reps, that's completely fine. Start where you are, but I'm gonna do 8 here, all right? So we're gonna start, come up slowly, flex, 1, 2, 3, come down, keep everything controlled. Come up again, 1, 2, 3, come down, that's 2. Oh, go up again, 1, 2, 3. That's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. You should feel a nice burn in those glutes. Up, 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6. 2 more. Get it up. Again, squeeze hard. 1, 2, 3, 7. And then 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 8. And then again, rest anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute or even longer if you need to. There is no set rest time right now in the beginning stages of this rehab process. Again, you just got to do what's best for you at this time. You know yourself best. Okay, we're going to get into the next set. Again, sets of 8. Again, the long-term goal is 2 sets of 15. So if you are more advanced, you can do up to 15 reps if you would like. But again, we're going to do 8 reps. So again, we're going to bridge up. Only enough to where your back is straight. You don't have that back arch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. And again, you want to come up and down slowly because sometimes any quick jerky movements can cause that back to tweak out on you. 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to almost press through your heels. That way you get a little bit more glute activation. When people press through their heels, they feel it a lot more. 5, 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 7. Again, make sure you're squeezing those glutes hard at the top. 1, 2, 3, 8. And the reason you want to hit your glutes is they're part of the supportive system of your lower back. They're literally the base of your back. So when people have weak glutes, a lot of times when they're picking anything up, all the tension goes into their lower back. Their glutes aren't taking any of that load. So it's important that you're strengthening these glutes to protect your lower back. So the third exercise is going to be these 90-90 hip lifts. So you're going to get in 90-90 position. You want both legs 90 degrees here. Most of you aren't going to be able to do these where you're seated up like this. This is the advanced version. Most of you are going to have to just be down here. You're gonna lift this knee and foot at the same time. You wanna lift this leg as high as you can, so your foot should be in alignment with your knee, right? This is gonna be a great exercise for your hips. This is actually something that helps a lot of people, even with sciatica or piriformis syndrome. Piriformis syndrome is essentially like that version of sciatica where you have a tight muscle in your hip that's pressing on that sciatic nerve, that's compressing that sciatic nerve. So when a muscle is tight, it's because it's weak. So when you strengthen this, when you strengthen that hip muscle, it's gonna start to loosen up that hip, right? And it's gonna put less compression on that sciatic nerve. And I've had a lot of people tell me how their sciatica has significantly improved just by this exercise alone. Some of you may need to start down here. The advanced version is being up here. We're gonna do 2 sets of 30 seconds. Some of you may only be able to do 5, 10, 15 seconds. So again, start where you are. That goes for every exercise that we do. So again, this is the advanced version. For those of you that are a little bit more advanced, I'm just gonna demonstrate the beginner version because most of you are gonna be beginners. So I'm gonna start this timer. You're gonna lift this leg. Again, you're lifting that knee as high as you can while also rotating that foot. You don't want that foot getting lazy and weak, otherwise you're not gonna hit that hip as well. By lifting that foot, you're gonna feel that hip activate way more. You're gonna start building strength and stability in this hip. Your hip obviously is part of your pelvis. You want a stable pelvis because your pelvis is obviously connected to your lumbar spine. So if your pelvis is unstable, you're gonna get a lot more movement in that lumbar spine. It's gonna cause a lot of wear and tear on it and just continue to aggravate an already messed up back. So that's 30 seconds right there. And you're doing both sides. So we're gonna transfer over to this side. Again, 90 degrees. If you need to take a little rest between sides, you can. Again, advanced versions like this. Beginner versions down here. We're gonna do beginner version. We're gonna go straight into it. Again, we're going for 30 seconds, 2 sets of 30 seconds. For those of you that are a little bit more advanced, again, you can go a little longer than 30 seconds if you'd like. You can go up to a minute if you want. But again, with any exercise but again, with anybody coming back from lower back pain, right, you want to, again, do less is more, especially if you're having sciatica. If you work that hip a little too much, it might cause inflammation the next day to where it flares up because it's not used to being worked, and that's not what you want either. You want to do just enough to start taking pressure off the nerves and just getting blood flow to the tissue and strengthening it. So that's 30 seconds. So again, it's 2 sets of 30 seconds, but that's 2 sets of 30 seconds each side. So after taking some rest, we'll get in the next set. So again, Great exercise if you got tight hips. By strengthening those hips, it's gonna start to loosen them up. So you get a double benefit of just getting more mobility in the hips. And if you have sciatica, it's obviously gonna take pressure off that nerve. If you have the piriformis syndrome version of sciatica where the hip's tight and pressing on that nerve. So we're gonna get into this next set. This time I'll do the advanced version. I don't know if I did the advanced version on that other side, but again, advanced version here. I'll just do this for demonstration purposes because this is gonna be the end goal that you wanna work up to. But obviously start at the beginner version, especially if this is your first time doing it. I don't care if you can start off with this, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So start off with the beginner version, even if you find those too easy. I'd rather have you test it and then see how you feel the next day, see if you have any flare-ups. Because again, we're trying to avoid flare-ups and we just want to take baby steps forward and take no steps back. Okay, that's 30 seconds that side. Again, flip this side. Like I said, if you need to take rest, because sometimes after working this hip, it feels a little tight, then it's harder to do the other side. So sometimes I'll usually take a little bit of rest, so you should too. Don't be afraid to take rest. That way, you're focusing on good form. We're gonna start this set. You want good form, right? So I would rather have you completely well rested and getting the most range you can on these and getting the proper mind-muscle connection versus just fighting through it and just feeling tired. So I want you being at full energy each set. That way you get the highest quality set in, get the most benefit you can from each of these exercises. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. All right, so this is gonna be exercise number 4. It's gonna be the adductor raise. It's gonna be another exercise that you hold. You wanna keep this leg as straight as possible if you can. If it's bent, it's completely fine. You're still gonna get the benefit. This is gonna hit your adductors. I'll explain it as we're going through. This is a very beginner level exercise, so most of you should be fine doing this. We're gonna aim for 2 sets of 30 seconds. But if you can't do 30 seconds, that's fine too. Start where you are. So basically, we're gonna raise this. Just gonna raise this as high as you can while being kind of on your side here. Keep this leg kind of posted up just to support. And this is gonna hit your adductors. You should feel your groin, your adductors working. Your adductors are an important muscle for stabilizing your pelvis. So again, if you have an unstable pelvis, it's gonna be moving around. It's gonna be tugging on that lumbar spine. Just having strong adductors are gonna have a lot more benefits as well. I'll talk about that in a second here. So you're gonna do 2 sets of 30 seconds each side, right? So I never stretch. I never do these butterfly stretches right here. I gotta pull these up because my sweatpants are ruining my range of motion. So I never do these butterfly stretches here. When I was in high school, in college, I used to try to stretch these. I'd be so tight right here. I'd always be tight, never get much range of motion on these. But now it's like I don't even have to use my hands. I could just keep them completely flat to the floor. And I never stretch these. It's because again, a weak muscle is a tight muscle. So when this muscle is weak, it's gonna shorten and it's gonna be very hard to stretch. And if you're trying to just stretch it, you're just constantly tugging on a very weak tissue and it's just gonna come back. It might loosen up for the day or the hour. Next thing you know, shortens again. And you're just back through the cycle of chronic tightness. So you wanna strengthen these because then it's gonna start loosening up your groin area. We're gonna get into this next set. I'll continue explaining as we go through this. So again, post it up off this leg and lifting this as high as you can while being kind of almost in a side plank-like position. Should feel this in your groin if you're lifting high enough and if you're in the right angle. Holding for 30 seconds, 10, 11, 12. So again, you'll start to notice your groin loosen up. You'll have a lot more range of motion and you'll feel more free in this pelvic region just by doing these. Just because the adductors are gonna start to get strong, they're gonna loosen up. Okay, it's 30 seconds. Because again, when a muscle is weak, basically what your brain does is it sends signals to get that muscle to contract and tighten because it doesn't want you moving through that range of motion because it thinks it's safe because you have no strength in that tissue. So anytime you try to move that tissue, it's just gonna get tight. So it's like you're consciously, when you're trying to stretch something, it's like you're trying to press on the gas while your brain is slamming on the brakes. So you're kind of fighting against your nervous system trying to protect you. So that's why you have to strengthen these different muscle groups. Okay, we're gonna get into the second set here. Again, this position, keep this leg as straight as you can. If it's bent, like I said, it's a little bit fine. So you're gonna raise that leg, start these. And one thing I always preach in my content is that your whole body is like a chain and it's only as strong as its weakest link. It's all interconnected in some way. So if you have tight hamstrings or hips or anything like that, it's gonna be pulling on different areas, which are inevitably gonna impact things like your lower back. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Again, this is a very beginner level exercise. For those of you that keep coming back to this video, if you're a little bit more advanced, you can hold these for up to a minute. But again, just start on the lower end for now. Gonna get into the last set here. Lift that leg. Going for 30 seconds. Again, start where you are. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And again, position yourself in a way and lift your leg to where you feel it in your adductor. You should really feel these if you're doing these right. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And especially this muscle right here, the adductors in this groin region, these are a muscle that get extremely sore if you've never worked them. So again, this is one to really focus on the principle of doing less to achieve more. And the last exercise is going to be hip flexor raises. Most of you should be completely fine doing this. If you feel any kind of pinching in this front hip flexor here, you may just need to limit the range of motion for today, but ideally you want to get up to about 90 or even slightly higher. You don't want to get to the point where you're leaning back to get that range of motion. You should be straight up, right? So we're going to aim for 2 sets of 12. Keep these nice and controlled, okay? So I'm just kind of demonstrating there, but we're going to get into this first set. We're going to do 12 reps, okay? So we're going to get into it. 1, raise it up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So your hip flexors are a muscle that gets extremely weak because a lot of people sit all the time. It's a muscle that's important and gets incorporated when you're walking, running, lifting the knee. It also interconnects with the lumbar spine. So if these are tight and weak, they shorten and it pulls on that lumbar spine. So these are really important to strengthen so that they start to loosen up, they lengthen. So that's why you want to make sure you're hitting these because as I said, people never train this muscle. They get short and weak and again, they pull on that lumbar spine. Make sure you're doing both sides. I'm obviously here against the wall for support because obviously this requires you to be on one leg. So I'm gonna do these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you raise this leg, you almost want this to be about 90 degrees, as I said. You can raise it a little bit higher. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's almost like you're kicking. You're not just like raising your knee like this, right? See this? It's almost like you're almost kicking in front of you. That's the kind of movement you want. That's how you're really gonna know you're hitting that hip flexor. An even better way to hit these is from an elevated surface. That way you get a little bit more range of motion. You can let that leg dip down a little bit. I just feel like it adds a little bit more difficulty to the movement, a little bit more range of motion. That way you're not limited by the floor. But again, you don't have to start off with 12 reps. The end goal is to be able to do 2 sets of 15 with these, nice and controlled. Some of you, if you can only do 4 or 5 reps, that's completely fine too. I just want to keep reiterating to start where you are. So we're going to get into this next set. I'm just going to do this for demonstration purposes off of a platform. Gonna get into it. 1, 2, again, you're almost kicking out. 3, 4, try to feel that hip flexor flex at the top. 5, 6, 7, again, less is more. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And even for me, to be honest, I'm kind of feeling these. So a lot of you might even just be needing to start at 5 to 8 reps because this second set's starting to get to even me a little bit. I can do a lot of reps. I could probably do like 30 of these, but I'm really starting to feel that mind muscle connection in that hip flexor starts to get a little tight because you're getting blood flow and they're not used to being trained. So you don't want to strain these at the same time. So again, less is more. So keep these conservative. So up, 1, 2, 3, squeeze, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, if you're feeling any pinching here, you can reduce your range of motion. 9, 10, 11, 12. All right guys, that was the workout. If you made it this far, good job, because you took the hardest step that most people aren't even willing to take, which is the first one. You actually started. I know this workout was really short, but again, less is more in the beginning. This is just level 1 of the many progressions I'm gonna have you guys go through in future videos. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys thought of the workout. And after you graduate from this beginner level, I'll see you guys in the intermediate video.